In this lesson, we are going to see which are the medical information you need to get before going on a trip and when and where you need to collect them. You will also learn which are the several questions you have to ask yourself to have a general idea of your necessities and what to do to fulfill them at your best. First of all, before getting there, get informed. Getting ready for a travel means also to take care of your health at least 4-6 weeks before the departure. There are plenty of things you need to think about and a lot of sources you can use to get information you need. There are two principal ways to collect information: your family doctor and websites. You can consult websites to know the latest news about the country you are going to visit, to have a general idea of the best behavior to assume to prevent yourself from getting sick or harmed and to travel safely. We recommend you to visit institutional websites, such as Ministry of Foreign Affairs website of your country and of the country you are going to visit. Your best way to get more specific information is going to your family doctor and the health facilities responsible for prevention of traveler diseases in your city. All the information you need about your travel depend on two key questions. Where are you traveling to? And which kind of traveler are you? Depending on where you're traveling to, you can encounter different geographical, political, climate-related, economical, and developing conditions. You have to think that the country you're going to visit may have a strong impact on your health status. You may encounter adverse climate conditions, dangerous fauna, inadequate hygienic condition, absence of natural requirements to the sustainability of life. There's also the chance to find situations of epidemic diseases, but it could also be circumscribed to a specific region of the country. This means you don't have to worry if you're going in a safe area, but you need to pay attention if you're going to visit some other regions of the country. Your risk may also be increased by the length of the journey, since a long permanence involves a higher percentage of exposure. You also need to know which kind of traveler you are. This means you can have special needs. For example, do you travel with children? Do you suffer from chronic diseases or from a state of immunodeficiency? Are you or do you travel with pregnant women? All these things change the pattern and the planning of your journey. If you're traveling with infants and young children, you need to know they are more sensitive to sudden changes in altitude and UV radiation. They have special needs regarding vaccination and anti-malarial precautions, and they suffer from dehydration more easily than adults. For pregnant women, traveling is generally not contraindicated, unless they are close to the date of delivery. This is valid for uncomplicated pregnancy. The safest period to travel is during the second trimester, taking in consideration not only the time of delivery, but also unpredictable complication of pregnancy. There are some restrictions on vaccination during pregnancy. Pregnant women risk serious complications if they contract malaria or viral hepatitis E. In these cases, the best precaution is to avoid travel to endemic areas for all these diseases at all possible. Airlines impose some travel restrictions in late pregnancy and in the neonatal period. Medical advice is strictly necessary for people suffering from underlying chronic illnesses when they're planning a journey. It's highly recommended to bring with them all their medications and medical items they generally use, durable for the entire length of the journey. They also need a physician's attestation certifying the necessity for any drugs or other medical items that may be questioned by customs officials and security personnel. We are now referring, for example, to syringes or injectable drugs that might be considered dangerous during controls before boarding. Considering which traveler you are, it's highly recommended to sign a travel insurance. You should be aware that medical care abroad is often available only at private medical facilities that may have a cost. When choosing your insurance, you need to pay attention on which kind of medical care is covered and if it works as direct payment or refund. A good health insurance should cover several predictable situations such as changes to the itinerary, hospitalizations, medical care in case of illnesses or accident, but also more uncommon ones like emergency repatriation for health reasons and repatriation of the body in case of death. You can get more information at healthcare facilities of your city about your specific status of traveler. Finally, you need to see your family doctor before leaving at least 4 or 8 weeks before the journey. He will evaluate pre-travel health status together with risks you may incur while traveling. Before long-term travel to developing countries or to remote areas, it is advisable a dental and age-appropriate examination, especially for people with underlying health problems. Consultations should be focused on health risks, need for vaccination and prophylaxis, and should forecast which medical items you may require. It is important for the traveler to bring with him his personal record of vaccination. Let's recap. When you're traveling abroad, you need to know where you're traveling to, which kind of traveler you are, which travel insurance you need, and if you have special needs, talking to your family doctor.